you would have a lot of people with ideas, but not the technical skills that will become creative director.
How do we differentiate ourselves? I'm thinking about that. What do we do when we're all the same?
My conclusion is like, if you can utilize AI for concept exploration, our role are constantly evolving, and they have to evolve with this role. And my role is to make sure that this transition will be smooth.
So sometimes you save the best to last, or the near best to last. But in this case, I think I've got Kenjy, my guest, but also I have to say, it was like getting Elvis in the hallway. You are very much looked up to in the industry, so I'm very impressed. I knew you because, and this is my take on it, right? 4 years before we were talking about AI and creative, you were talking about it, and I still quote you to people talking about AI and creative. So first of all, just great to have you, Kenjy. You're amazing. You know that probably. I don't need to tell you.
Thank you,
No
Peggy.
pressure, by the way.
No, so yeah, it's like it's been multiple years, as we mentioned, that we were talking about this creative journey.
Yes.
A lot of people were thinking that creative was just a sidekick of the UA and the growth strategy. And now that everything is automated, everything is becoming more crucial to think about what will be the creative optimization. And because you're talking about optimization, for sure, automation is part of the equation. So AI is booming now. A lot of companies are utilizing it for Gen AI. But I think they're still facing what we were mentioning a few years ago, which is like testing is still an issue. Testing, I think, is the biggest drama there. Yes. You can do so much things, but it's still hard, basically, to make sure that you find the right one among all the ones that you can generate in a few seconds now. Yes. So that one is still the major pain point, I think. And the second one is like more people are trying to bring assets into life. It's great, but they're facing some still technical limitations. So I don't know, 2D to 3D Gen AI assets is kind of interesting, but not perfect. So the invest of time that you're doing to make sure that you have a specific asset that will be tailor-made as you are doing it is not necessarily perfect. So you need to have post-production on it. And the adoption of the teams sometimes is making the journey not that smooth. So you want to invest on AI, but what will be the tool? What will be the things?
Silver bullet.
Exactly.
It's not silver bullet.
Exactly.
Well, you talk about time investment. I remember you telling everyone, and we were like, wow, 1,000% savings in time, yes. But the testing is the problem, because you've got tons of creatives, you still need to test them, and we can't let AI test itself. That would be, need some human supervision in there. So how are you handling that at Voodoo? Because when I'm thinking about the next problem, I'm looking at you thinking, you're probably thinking about the next solution.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's not perfect yet, but it's more like you need to isolate what are the things that, even though you would love to try them and will grab a piece of your budget, what are the things that you can do once you will receive a sense of performance. So you should think about a framework to, again, isolate all the variation you have in mind, to not try them, and to just give a bulk of confidence level, I will say. So you build this through AI. You don't know if it's the maximum performance you may have with this, but at least if it's giving you a good hint of it's a good path, you can at least rely on that one, invest time to do all the variations with AI within it. So my conclusion is like, if you can utilize AI for concept exploration rather than creative optimization at the moment, I think it will be the big thing. So like, you get an idea. Yeah, exactly.
And then, so a concept, which is fine, because there's a lot of flexibility within the concept, and then give the concept to the team and say, okay, this is the concept, and now as humans in the team, work with that. So it's, the AI isn't just doing, because then you'll have your four finger problem here. Nope. You don't have your 4-finger problem, because we know we have 5 fingers.
Yeah, for sure. And what we can see in the industry today is like, most of the people are utilizing AI for variations. So they're like, okay, I made this creative. It's easier to reuse AI to gain time on all the variations. It's feasible, but again, which one you will put into the upload to make sure that you will have performance, you don't know. But at least exploration, even though it's longer to master the AI, you can frame a little bit more what you will do, what is the things that you can at least isolate, what are the hypotheses that you can have, that you can validate, So again, my proposal will be double down on AI to have concept iteration.
Okay.
Yeah.
And probably at some point sell those prompts, right?
For sure.
Because that's going to be it.
Absolutely.
It's going to be the prompt. And when we met, it was so inspiring because, and I used it in several keynotes of my own, because it was like everyone was, well, what are we going to do? AI is going to take our job. I'm like, no, Kenjy says we're going to be liberated. Everyone is going to be a creative director. How is that path going for you and also for your team? Because some people, you give them too much freedom and they freak out. They don't want to be, a director in sort of in charge of the destiny of a creative. So it's a little bit of learning in a way, maybe for you to lead, but for them to lead themselves as well. How are you handling that team building, that team liberation?
I think the creative director I was mentioning will
Have
be
you
more and
become
more
one?
will be more and more the non-producers. For example, me,
Okay.
I'm not a producer,
Yeah.
and I think the time will come where people that are coming from UA, that are coming from admin, whatever other field from the growth, will be capable to be this creative director. People that is coming from the product itself, that didn't have experience on mobile ads gaming, will be capable to be the art director as well. So you will have a lot of people with ideas, but not the technical skills that will become creative director. And on the other hand, you have all of the creative team that is already working on all, the Adobe suite and whatever, that will probably do rather post-processing a lot. So, hey, you made this through AI. You need to recalibrate it quickly because you will need to be very specific. So you'll have your team to do this. And maybe some of them will become scientists. So basically, how to ask a prompt or something with AI to not do it, I don't know, 1,000 times to have the perfect calibration. So there will be more and more involved into this. So I have the feeling that you will have a, let's say, mutualization of the knowledge. The technical will become a little bit less technical to be more scientist part, and the non-producers again will be more, ideation owners.
So Kenji, yourself, I mean, everyone has a backstory. I'm so pleased to meet you. I mean, I saw you at the UA Society, but there you were up on the stage, and then we didn't get a chance to chat. So you as a person, I mean, you were one of the first to embrace this and say, yeah, it's going to be different, but it's going to be good. So you must have drawn from some sort of positivity inside to say, no, I'm not going to be replaced by this. I'm going to be augmented. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your own sort of journey with AI and, at Voodoo. I mean, did you have to embrace it? Did you have to champion it? Is it something that you brought in? Because somehow, let's face it, you are co-creating, and I think that's the model we need to be looking at.
I will say in the beginning it was like framing what are the roadblocks of the creative team. A lot of teams are like, let's say, UN creative, mix as a growth team, and it's hard for the UAs, for example, sometimes to understand what are really on the daily operation, the roadblocks of the creative team. So me, I was a UA, former UA, senior UA, working on optimizing campaigns like always, and then I started to realize it would have been better to feed the gap. So I moved to the creative team. And when I moved to the creative team, I isolate all, again, their pain points and figure it out that gaining time is crucial to maximize the chances of performance. And that's why we came with AI as a hypothesis multiple years ago. My feeling now is sit with your team, try to understand better what they are not capable to do, and try to see if AI can be an helper. If it's not the case, just find another solution. But I have the feeling that AI will be one of the biggest drivers of solutions in terms of gain of time, pain point of the team. So the next big challenge, I think, will be everything related to emotions through AI, because you can set a prompt, you can do whatever you want, but it's lacking of soul a little bit. This will be soul, I think, the more and more the tech will evolve. The second one that is a pain when you discuss with them should be something around the accuracy, I will say, of the assets. So you made that one, you're almost satisfied. But how can you build something that will be really satisfied? So this delta of quality will make the difference into the best team, the best creative team in the world.
So what about the question I have always looking in, because I've also played a little bit with AI, and it's like, yeah, but we're going to get to a point where, your superpower is your tool and your knowledge. and we're all going to have the same tools. So then how do we differentiate ourselves? I'm thinking about that. What do we do when we're all the same? Maybe at Voodoo you have some thoughts about that because you were ahead of your time with it. So maybe you're thinking about ways to make certain that what you create is still unique, still has soul, as you put it.
Yeah. I think branding will play a crucial role there. Okay. It's like, I don't know, let's say everyone will be able to do a book with AI, but the best books will be still the one with the best idea and the best, basically, marketing positioning. Okay. So it's still about not the product itself that you will build. It's more about the 360 story that you will build upon what you will do. So AI will make people to be capable to do the exact same creative, but at the end of the day, what will make the difference will be your concept that you will do with this AI plus all the assets that is part of your of your brand, basically. So if you're king, if you're whatever, whoever, you will be able, or if you're Voodoo, building your own brand, you will have more chance to do on paper the same assets compared to people, but you will have iconic characters, iconic landscape, iconic, you name it, that will give you this boost. So my hint will be to make sure that we invest more on storytelling that is concrete, to make sure that what you can build with AI is also having a DNA. So like that, I'm not just building a shoes, I'm building a Nike shoe or whatever. This type of thing will be the same.
Yeah. The soul.
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
It. Get it, totally. So what about yourself? I mean, this is what you love. I know it. I can tell. And people who came to you in the hallways also, it's like, talk to him. He's thinking. So I know you're thinking about this. What is your contribution? What is your space right now at Voodoo? Is it, are you moving in the direction of brand and storytelling and thinking like that? Or what is exciting you about your job now that you are changing your job to be what every other job is going to be eventually?
So I will say two things. The first one is like, now it's more about venture projects. Mm-hmm. We all know what is like UI optimization is about, creative optimization is about, but you have less people that have time to think out of the box.
Yes.
And I'm quite lucky at Voodoo because I have the freedom to do this. So it's quite great. So inspiring, what will be the tiny things that you can bet on, rely on to say, hey, in 1 year or 2 years, this should be the norm inside the daily operation of Voodoo. So this is my role right now. And to do this, it's more a matter of first conviction, to a little bit of, let's name it like time to completion. Basically, how much tools, how much things you are capable to do, sometimes outside of your working hours, just because you love that. It's not about the job that you need to feel. It's more like, hey, you have this conviction, you're like hanging around, and maybe find something interesting. So again, it's a mix of innovation, like we used to say in companies, but more personal innovation that you will transform into basically a goal for the team. And that's pretty much it.
And you have to make it understandable for the team as well. So I can imagine what you're working on is like thinking through this framework. How can you make it something, not necessarily that will scale, but something that is teachable and accessible for your team? It's great when you can do it, Kenjy, but you want everyone to be like in this mindset because it's a very different way of thinking.
Yeah, totally. And it's more, as I mentioned, adoption is one of the biggest enemy of innovation. So a lot of people would love to invest, but they don't have time. They don't have the skill. They don't know where to look at, basically, to be better. And my role is just to help them on this path to make sure they are capable to master something if they want. If they don't want, at least understand why they should. So it's more like a process, not something rigid to say to them, hey, you have to do it right now. It's not like this. It's more like, again, explain them that our role are constantly evolving and they have to evolve with this role. And my role is to make sure that this transition will be smooth. Okay. It's not always easy for the team, but it should be at least easy for myself to transmit it to the team the best way I can.
I hope as you learn those lessons, that you will share them as well. Kenjy, it has been an absolute delight speaking with you. And in particular, great respect because you're thinking a few years ahead all the time. Very impressive. So therefore, I want to speak with you more often so I can have a glimpse into that future. Maybe we'll check. Well, actually, let's do it now. Predictions for 2025. Then when we meet again, we can check and see. Give me a few. Because I think they're going to be interesting from you. And they can be anything. It doesn't have to be creative. Just where you see sort of that blue ocean that we don't.
I will say for sure 2025 you will have more consolidation.
Okay.
I think that even though it won't be big ones, you will have more and more M&As that will happen in the mobile gaming. It's logic because you have multiple brands with different skills. And they start to understand that to become the famous soul that we were talking about, it's crucial to merge. Yeah, exactly.
Together.
I think we'll have more discussion at least, maybe in 2025, and maybe conclusion of this in 2026. For the tech, I'm assuming that everything related to automation for creative, at least for basic creative, will happen, I think, in 2025 Q4.
Okay.
So the tech will be more and more mature. So if it's about doing basic creatives, normally it should be outside of the daily operation of the team. So normally the best tool will provide the capacity to do that, and it will be our role to master it. And my final hint will be we'll have some exploration channels that will be interesting to do. Everyone is talking about connected TV, for example, those days.
And
We know
there
it's
you have to have creative.
and we'll have more time to maybe invest qualitative creative on that. So my bet will be, even though it won't be the best, let's say, SOV there in terms of spend for your games, at least the portion should grow a little bit based on the fact that you'll have probably more time to invest there. So this is my bet.
Creatives are more challenging.
Exactly. So you'll have more time to do the challenging ones.
Yes, the
So it should be
challenging ones,
exactly.
yes. Because they have to be good. I mean, you have audio, you have video. It's a
Exactly.
whole different experience.
Exactly. Audio is also something that is booming. With AI, it's quite easy to iterate on it. So I can see people will try more and more. So again, alternative channels will be probably taking a little bit more space compared to what we have right now. This is my bet.
I think you're going to be right. They all sound good to me. And just, you're on the mark. I bet it. We'll come back. We'll see you in a year. And until then, Kenjy, just thanks so much for taking the time and for sharing. You're someone I can tell you like to learn as much as you like to teach. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
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 And of course, if you're tuning into In the Groove on YouTube, well, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. It will allow you to stay up to date with the series, and not only that, enjoy the pure gold of knowledge and insights our guests bring to every episode.